Welcome to your Optavia LifeBook audio channel. Today I'm going to be reading to you from Element 7, Part 1, and that starts on page 165. My name is Christy Baker, and I am an independent Optavia health coach, and this channel is really just my gift to you. I want to make it so easy for you to get into your LifeBook so that you have the most success with your experience with Optavia. If you could do me just a small favor and go ahead and push that like button down below, subscribe so you know when the next video is coming out, and honestly, feel free to share it with anybody else that's doing the program with you. This will be a great enhancer of their journey as well. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We live in an optogenic world. Now that's just a big fancy word for tending to cause obesity. This is the major reason why so many of us struggle with our weight. What if we could create a leptogenic world, which means a world that is causing weight loss? Surroundings help you become thin. In this element, we will focus on making simple yet powerful changes to your surroundings to make healthy choices easier. The title of this next section is called You Buy Your Willpower at the Grocery Store. I like that. Most people think that they make poor choices and gain weight because they lack willpower. They feel low and they run to food for comfort. But if you only bought healthy food at the grocery store and it's not close at hand, instead you can stop, challenge, and without any temptation, you can choose something healthy to eat or an activity on your health path. Over the last several years, we have discovered that willpower is not something that you have or don't have, but it's a resource that becomes depleted, and like a battery, it can be recharged. Remember your days in school during finals week when you were using your willpower to study and everything else suffered? My girls deteriorated from being perfectly turned out young women who made healthy food choices to wearing sweatpants with no makeup and living on pizzas, cheeseburgers, and fries during exam week. When your willpower is depleted, you are more likely to make your decisions based on your surroundings. After those tough days at the office, you are much likely to make an effort to prepare much less likely, to make an effort to prepare a healthy meal or exercise. So it's important to eliminate potential unhealthy temptations when you are more vulnerable to poor choices. In this element, we are going to introduce you to the habit of connecting time and place to coordinate where you are throughout the day and make small but critical changes in your surroundings. And the next element, this will evolve into your own personal habit clock. This will make it easier to do the habits of health and harder to fall into the habits of disease. We are, in essence, going to reduce the need for willpower by creating a new, healthy, leptogenic world for you. You can review the choice architecture in Dr. A's Habits of Health, Part 1.7, called Optimizing Your Surroundings and Creating Your Microenvironment of Health. Let's spend some time and go through your day. We need to consider what we can do in your current day to put obstacles in place to increase the steps to make bad choices. And at the same time, we need to eliminate some steps to make it easier to make good choices. He's got a graph here of 24 hours a day and each of the things that we tend to do during those hours. And if you'd like to look more at that chart, it's on page 168 in your LifeBook. As you can see, there are multiple times during the day and night when we can make interventions. We are going to concentrate on your bedroom, car, workspace, meal times, and home, specifically the kitchen, pantry, and living spaces. Let's start with the center of food storage, preparation, and serving in your kitchen and pantry. You will want to read Part 2.2 in Dr. A's Habits of Health, your blueprint for safe weight loss and health gain, which will give you specific foods to toss as well as the ones to replenish on your shelves. I will discuss some basic principles, and I want you to log what you've changed and whether it's helping you make better choices in your surroundings. The pantry is the place where most processed foods are stored. You will want to eliminate all ultra-processed foods that have sugar or refined flour as the first few ingredients. Why? In part 1.1 of Dr. A's Habits of Health, It's Not Your Fault That We're Struggling, we talk about how the food industry encourages you to consume large amounts of ultra-processed foods by manipulating the taste, salt, and texture. They are also responsible for creating sugar and refined flour addiction. An important note here, our fuelings are designed to do the opposite. Because they are low glycemic, portion controlled, and provide balanced protein and carbohydrates, they have lower calorie and they work with the body to turn off the metabolic switches. They turn us into fat-burning, healthy state. These fuelings are healthy food designed to help you manage your weight and health. Get rid of tempting foods that could sabotage your healthy eating choices, and don't use this time to finish off the bag of cookies you find. If you have children or teenagers, this is a great chance to help them eat healthier too. But if you must keep foods for them in the house that don't fit on your plan, put them in a low, out-of-the-way cupboard and don't go near them. Start by getting rid of, here's a list for you, white flour, white rice, white bread, crackers, rice cakes, croutons, and breadcrumbs, hydrogenated vegetable oils, including hard or semi-soft margarine, and shortenings such as Crisco, and partly hydrogenated oils. White potato, potato mix, cornmeal, and corn grits. Refined cereals, whole grain is okay, and flavored oatmeal. Cookies, candy, cakes, and muffins. Chips, crackers, pretzels, and popcorn. Write down all the things that you are throwing out. And if you're out on the move right now, I would highly suggest text yourself some of the things that you know that you have in your pantry, so when you get back home, this will be part of your homework assignment. Follow up with this list and then toss or make them hard to get to when you get back. The key reason for writing down all of these unhealthy foods can be summed up in one sentence. I don't eat these foods because I have chosen to create optimal health and well-being in my life. This is a very different approach from what you may have told yourself that you couldn't eat these foods because they were not on your diet. Previously, you may have said can't, which creates a feedback loop that points out the restrictions and limitations of what you can and cannot do. It sets you up for failure because you are, in essence, saying, I'm being forced to do something I don't want to do. If we go back to our hierarchy of choices, and then we are making secondary decisions because they support what is most important to us, optimal health and well-being. You are giving your body a gift of health rather than restriction of instant pleasure. Out of sight, out of mind plays out big time when we redesign our surroundings, so you no longer even have to make a decision. By the way, the same thing applies to going out to restaurants. Do not enter unhealthy eating establishments because even if they have healthy options, you are putting your willpower to the test, and that is a gamble we do not want to make in the Habits of Health transformational system. In this element, we want to explore how we can make everything healthy and be supportive of our well-being. We also want to eliminate and make it harder to make poor choices. So let's start populating your pantry with healthy foods such as olive oil, whole grains, high-fiber breads and pitas, whole wheat flour, walnuts, almonds, pistachios, and a variety of beans and different spices and herbs. These are all healthy choices once you have reached your healthy weight. In fact, if you're in the weight loss phase, your choices may be more limited than these healthy examples. In fact, put some of the things that you can have in your pantry during the weight loss phase 1 And you can also see part 2.3 in Dr. A's Habits of Health, the catalyst for reaching a healthy weight. For example, almonds, walnuts, and pistachios. It's a good idea to run this list past your coach before you purchase the above items. Also check the guide that comes with your fuelings. The list of fuelings that you have in your pantry, list of the fuelings that you have in your pantry, and start making notes of the ones that you love, like, or want to pass on in the future. I find that I settle into about a half a dozen favorites that I will use for most of my fuelings, and over time or delete the ones that I get tired of. One last note on choice architecture in your pantry. Place the healthiest items at eye level. And if you have other family members that are not yet eating healthy, request that they place their processed foods either out of sight or in areas that will require much more work to reach. We're going to end here on page 171. And like I said, this part of the video comes with a homework assignment. So make sure that you refer back to this list, or like I said, you can go into your book and look at the list that they gave for suggestions of cleaning out your pantry and then repopulating it with healthy options. Thank you so much for joining me today.